The need to do something about climate change can instill a sense of passion in many. But herein lies the problem. Despite our best intentions, what we say doesn't always translate into what we do. We believe that behavioral science can help to more effectively engage decision makers in the boardroom to support climate action, mitigate climate risks, and to help them fulfill their legal duties. And we have built a series of tools to help.
Just because people know the right course of action, it doesn't mean they'll undertake that action. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you are challenged with persuading people to turn their intentions into action, then the behavioral science principles of consistency and scarcity can help. Consistency describes people's tendency to act in ways that align with their previous commitments, promises, and actions. When people act inconsistently, it can create a negative feeling. Therefore, communicators who align their proposals to what their targets have previously said are important to them will often be successful. In one famous study, residents in 2 neighbourhoods were asked to display a large, unsightly wooden board on their front lawn to support a safe driving campaign. As you can imagine, most people declined. But some households agreed. Why? Because 10 days previously they had been asked to display a small postcard in the window of their home supporting their campaign. This initial smaller commitment was enough to influence a much bigger commitment in the future because it was a consistent action. So when engaging decision makers and boards, it can be helpful to remind them of the commitments they've made or the behaviours they've already undertaken that align with your desired goal. For example, last year in October, your organisation announced a sustainability loan linked to your ESG rating. This reduced your cost of capital by 3 basis points and attracted attention as the first of your peers to do so. You can increase these impacts even more by linking your next loan to the achievement of your short-term emissions reduction target. Or, in October 2021, your organisation pledged to be more sustainable. One way you can get ahead on this goal is by electing an environmental subcommittee. Another way to leverage consistency is to take what we call the start small and build approach. First, think of a small action that could serve as a useful first step. Let's say a pledge or to attend a short talk. The key is to make sure the initial action or pledge you ask for is voluntary, one that they can action, and ideally one that can be made public. Then, make sure all your subsequent requests are consistent with this initial commitment. For example, when trying to get an individual to put climate on their board's agenda, you could first ask them to attend a talk or environmental conference and commit to sharing their experience with fellow board members. Another way to motivate action is to use the scarcity principle. Scarcity says that people value more the things that they can have less of. The principle also shows how people act more to avoid losses than they do to gain the same thing. In one study, executives were twice as likely to recommend investing in a new IT system when they were told how much their organisation would lose if they didn't install the system, compared to those that were told how much they would gain if they did. In the board context, this means communicating what people may miss out on by not acting. For instance, by not setting a net zero target, you are missing out on potential suppliers who only work with net zero companies. Limited offers work too, saying, "We only have 5 places on our upcoming sustainability corporate governance workshop, and we have more than 5 boards interested in attending," can make your offer more attractive. Scarcity works for time too. If you're asking people over email to sign up or respond to a request, put a shorter time limit on acceptance. Shorter timelines spur action. Longer deadlines lead to procrastination. You can highlight your own scarcity too, by giving people limited meeting times and not making yourself constantly available. Finally, remember when motivating people to act, make it easy for them. Executives often have to consume lots of information and make a range of complex decisions on topics they're not always familiar with. This can mean their understanding of the environment and climate is often limited. Research conducted by CCLI and Influence at Work suggests directors want help making more pro-environmental decisions. One thing that can make it easy is outlining concrete actions they can support and undertake, and breaking up these actions into simple steps. For example, to approve a Paris-aligned business strategy within the next 2 years, start by getting climate on the agenda of your next board meeting. When talking online, it is especially important to keep things simple because video calls consume more cognitive load than in-person conversations. So keep presentations clear and concise. If you are discussing a new topic, provide information in advance. Even if only a minority review the material, it can help. As the communicator and agent of change, the principles of consistency and scarcity can be helpful in situations where you face the challenge of turning intentions into reality. Reminding boards of what the company has said publicly in the past about the importance of environmental sustainability can help. So too will positioning your proposals in a way that frames what will be lost if they fail to act.